Hello, I am Miriam, and this is Chris, and today we have our friend here, Cristy Davis.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about her journey, her keto journey, her health journey.
So we've known her for quite a while, and it's been just a great friendship, and so we're really excited to have her share her story again with you guys, because we did have her on in, 2018?
Yeah, 2018, back in October.
When we were in our house.
Yeah, we had you were in the kitchen.
Yep.
Yeah, much different setup. That was kind of fun. I had like tripods on the counter.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Screen on the counter, and it was.
So we'll link that video in the bottom.
For people who haven't seen that original video, can you tell us how you found keto, why you do what you do?
I have lupus, kidney disease, and it got the best of me and my weight. The medications I was on, I've lost 160 pounds now to date, but I was basically bedridden. I couldn't play with my grandson. I couldn't go places. Getting out of the house was a chore, and that alone would put me back in bed for a couple days. And I finally got to the point to where I knew something needed to be done. And I thought that if I lost weight, I would start to feel better, not realizing that changing how I ate completely would reverse my health issues.
Yeah.
So I went to Kaiser and I told them that I needed to lose weight, and they agreed. And they put me on their weight management system, which was a meal replacement shake twice a day.
Okay.
And a meal that was higher in protein. It wasn't keto, but it was lower in carbs. And I went home, and the shake was absolutely awful. And I told my husband I was disappointed, but I would still drink it. And he said, well, he's very into UFC, and all the fighters are keto. So he would get ads for keto. Keto Chow came up
Really?
to him in one of his forums. And he goes, babe, they have banana. And I am a banana.
I remember a couple of your videos
I am a
about
banana person.
Yes.
So we ordered that, and I didn't tell Kaiser. I just switched, and I went to them. I had to continue going to them because I have kidney disease. They had to check my levels to make sure I was handling the protein and everything.
Yeah.
I continued for 6 months, and then I was just like, yeah, no, I don't need to do this anymore. And I ended up full-blown keto, and the Keto Chow is what really helped me learn keto, because I didn't have to think so much about food. I knew for a fact every day it was 2 shakes, and I had the entire day, if not days of planning, to figure out what low carb meal I was going to have. And in that process, I started learning. I was reading autoimmune diet, and I was learning what you should cut to help heal your body, and that's how it started.
Wow.
And here I am. I think I'm going on 6.5 years of doing this, because when we did that in March, October, I had already lost 90 pounds. So I was about a year in when I met you guys at your house.
Now, for a lot of people, they approach a keto diet as a temporary thing that they're going to do in order to, like, slim down for a wedding.
Yeah.
Or
that was me. I just wanted to lose some weight and then go back.
Yeah.
But this really sounds like you're talking about a fundamental change in lifestyle.
I had
to talk
to.
about that.
Yeah, I've completely changed the way I eat. I would say now, 6.5 years later, I'm more 80-20.
Okay.
Because I've learned what I can have. I've learned what I can't have. So cutting everything out, every anti-inflammatory food I cut out for a solid year. Absolutely no cheating. Slowly would add something back. People say, like, well, don't have a sweet potato, or don't have tomatoes, or don't, have tortilla chips because it's a grain. I experimented to see what would hurt me and what didn't. And now I'm pretty self-aware of what I can have and what I cannot have. And, I give myself a 20% room. So it's 80% very strict, 20% I'm human, and I'm going to live a little.
What?
Yeah. Very, very, and the 20%, that's not every day. I'm 80%, my whole life is very strict, keto ingredients, anti-inflammatory. And then, if we're out and about or we travel somewhere and I want to try something different that's unique to the place we're going, I will try it.
Okay.
And I'm okay if I'm going to be down for a day or two, but I know this now.
Yeah.
But I'd rather feel good than feel bad.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think that it's just so great to know that you found what works for you.
Yes.
And I think that's the whole purpose of our keto journey is to figure out what's going on with you so you can make it the best for you.
Yeah, you have to figure out what works for you, because some people can have gluten. It doesn't work for me. I mean, there's times where I'll accidentally get glutened, and there's times where I'm in a mood and I'm just going to have the gluten. And, for the next 3 days, my husband's like, I told you not to have that gluten.
Yeah.
But it's a choice that I get to make.
You're really helping.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a choice I get to make, and I understand now what it does to me. Whereas I didn't understand any of that before. I didn't realize food was the root of my health problems. And now that those problems are better, like I still have lupus. I don't have flare-ups like I used to. I will have occasional flare-ups. Like if I get sick, I'll get a flare-up because my body's under stress.
Yeah.
If I have a very hard traveling day, my body's under stress. I still have kidney disease, but I went from checking my kidneys twice a month to they check my kidneys now once a year.
Wow.
Unless there's something going on. Yeah, I don't have to go in and do lab work but one time a year now for my kidneys.
That's awesome.
And they told me that my function has improved, which I thought that wasn't possible, but they said my kidney function has improved.
Nice.
So I'm still a stage 3, but it's coming up.
So we have a friend who she had a partial hysterectomy, and she talks about how people will come on her videos and comment that, well, if you went carnivore, you wouldn't have this problem, or if you did that, or you did that. Nothing's going to make your kidneys miraculously stop
completely healed.
having that problem.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's always going to be there, but no one's worried now.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting how you've been able to find what works for you, kind of your keto lifestyle. Do you find that kind of helps it with the simplicity and the sustainability of what you're doing?
Yeah, I find it keeping it simple, meaning, I'm not shopping all the aisles of the grocery store. My standards are I get meat, I get eggs. Occasionally I'll get almond flour. In the beginning, I was making everything with almond flour, but I actually found out that almond flour doesn't agree that well with me. And I didn't know that until I stopped doing it. But I like my Keto Chows. I like meat. What I mean by keep it simple is in the beginning, don't try these crazy hard recipes that have all these crazy ingredients and all these steps. Keep it very simple. You know how to make eggs, you know how to cook meat, you know how to make chicken, you know how to have fish, tuna, all those things. Keep it to where it's a very easy thing to make. As soon as you're comfortable with that, start experimenting with cooking. There's carnivore lasagna. It's absolutely amazing. But the first time I saw the directions, I pushed it aside.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, no, not going to happen for a very long time. And then one day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was once I got into it. But a lot of the recipes will scare me too. And then you learn to experiment with your own stuff, which is what I do a lot of on my YouTube channel.
Well, it's like smoked chicken legs first. Don't do a brisket your first time.
No. Unless you're going to confit it.
Okay, yeah.
See, because confit, if you're not good at cooking meat to a certain way, or if you have the sous vide, that takes all the nonsense out of cooking meat. Like, I can cook as good as some of our steakhouses now with that sous vide thing and my torch. That's how I blacken it.
Okay, what kind of
nice?
When you go for any people who don't know, a sous vide or sous vide, you put meat in a bag and you vacuum seal it and you put it in water and it holds it there for a long time and it makes it super, super tender. But when you pull it out, the outside is like,
it looks disgusting.
It looks like you boiled it.
Yeah.
And so you have to sear it. So what's your method for searing?
My husband bought a cooking torch.
Okay.
So we take it out to the griddle.
Because that's a fireproof box.
Well, he tried to do it on top of the stove once and shattered the Pyrex dish that the meat was in. Oh my gosh. It exploded. So needless to say, we didn't have meat that night. But we take it outside either to the barbecue or the griddle. And he loves the torch. Until it looks perfect, he just torches the heck out of it. I will use a cast iron pan sometimes, turn it to high heat, and just do each side because the torch and I aren't the best of friends. But yeah, super simple. But no, the meat looks awful when it comes out of the sous vide.
Yeah. It looks like you just took it out of the freezer and it's like,
And confit is almost the same way. You fill up your dish with oil or butter that goes right above your meat, add in some garlic. I like rosemary. And you cook it in your oven at like 180 until the meat is to the temperature you like. I like medium rare, so I do about 140. Pull it out, sear it.
Huh.
And it's just as good, if not better, than the sous vide.
so it's in the water.
It's in the oil.
In oil.
You do it in oil. I like
Do you
avocado.
like flip it halfway?
Nope. It just slow cooks in the oil.
Is it covering it?
Yes, make it sure that's just barely over the top of it.
Okay.
Do you get to reuse the oil, or is it a one?
I have never reused the oil.
I don't think you were going to do that.
I don't know. I mean, it's flavored with rosemary and garlic afterwards, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, so I don't want to say, just in case.
I'm sure somebody knows.
But Costco has 2 giant jugs for like $15.
Use avocado oil
Or olive oil.
Right.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. In the summertime, we enjoy fruit, so I haven't cut that out totally. I don't do it like I used to, a whole watermelon in one day, but everything is in moderation now, and I'm able to do that, whereas before I didn't have that relationship with food either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, talk more about the relationship.
When I was sad, when I was happy, when I was mad, my whole day revolved around, I'd wake up, what am I going to eat? And while I'm eating that, what am I going to have for lunch? Like, everything I did revolved around food. And now I don't hardly think about it. It's like, oh, I'm hungry. Maybe I should eat something.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like they say it's more for fuel now versus, feelings.
Yeah.
And I get that now. I see that. I don't crave food when I have bad days.
Yeah.
It's a completely different relationship, and that didn't happen overnight. I think that is something that has taken the full journey to realize that I had an eating disorder. If you think about it, I had a very bad. I loved to binge eat. I used to eat until I felt sick. That's what I thought people needed to do, and I don't even do that anymore. Half the time, I don't finish my food.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So did you make a conscious switch to okay, I'm feeling sad or whatever, I need to go swimming or I need to go do these other things? Or did you it was just so gradual?
It's just been gradual. It's been very gradual because over the last 5 years, I've had a lot of things happen. Like I did break a leg, and that's something where.
Sorry, when they say that when you're acting, they don't mean that literally. Okay.
No, I literally just stood up and my leg broke.
Oh man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was
wow.
asleep and I didn't know it, so my ankle rolled and snapped.
Oh.
Yeah, that can happen. So
Wow.
when your leg is asleep, be very careful when you stand up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in a scooter and I couldn't walk. I love walking. I love hiking. I've had 5 surgeries. Those are all things I think you would feel like I can't diet right now. These are very life-altering situations, and dieting is not at the top of my list. All of my doctors with each surgery and my leg were impressed with how quickly I healed, how quickly I bounced back. I can't take a lot of medications because of my kidneys.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling like I missed out. Yeah, I wasn't moving, but it didn't help my weight. Like, I think when my leg broke, I gained like 15 pounds, but I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I had a little scooter to ride around on, and that even hurt.
Oh, wow.
Getting around on it. Each surgery I had to wait at least 12 weeks before they even wanted me walking long distances besides just around my house.
Yeah.
And it was very... It set me back. It set me back mentally and physically, but I noticed if I stayed eating well, I felt better mentally, and I was able to heal quicker and get through it quicker. And I didn't spiral, whereas before I think I would have spiraled into a really bad depression with each one of those surgeries that I was told not to do anything.
Yeah. Well, and then it's more than 15 pounds. And then
Oh,
you just
yeah.
beat yourself up the whole time,
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a trial like that, it's going to be difficult no matter what.
I would
So if you
say with my 160-pound loss during the last 5.5 years, there's been 3 instances I can think of where I went up about 20 to 22 pounds, but I was able to just go right back to the basics, back to the Keto Chow, back to what I'm doing, and it came right back off.
Yeah.
So I never, when I'm telling people I've lost 150 pounds, but there was this one time that, I don't include that because I'm back on track. There's no point in dwelling on,
Right.
you know, things that happen.
But I think it is really good to hear.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially on our journey, like Chris and I have both gained weight, and we've been keto and we've not stopped doing keto the whole time. But it gives me hope that we can get there again. You know, like there are different circumstances in everyone's lives, and there are different hard times that come and go, and we can just keep carrying on, right? And get through.
There were times where I'm just like, you know, and it wasn't that I was eating off track.
Right.
It was how much I was eating and no like movement whatsoever.
Yeah.
And, you know, just really being stuck in the house. And once I started to feel better, I'm like, I know what to do. I know how to do all this. I'm just going to do it again.
Yeah.
And every time I feel like I need a reset, I go back immediately, 2 shakes a day. And now I'll do a carnivore meal.
Yeah.
And that brings me back a lot quicker. But as before, you know, it was like portioned out, you know, little veggie, little.
Okay.
But I do well without vegetables. I don't cut them out completely.
Yeah.
But I do okay without them.
They're for entertainment purposes.
Right. They're for color on the plate.
Right. It does make it look pretty, right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering too, in those times, do you feel like it was like a lot of emotional stress that could be adding to that?
Of course.
Because I feel like if we're stressed out or don't get sleep, like any of those factors also play a huge role. And so even if you're eating perfectly, if you're stressed out, then it doesn't matter if you have an illness or an injury. Like that's debilitating during that time too. So
yeah, how we feel, I think, plays a very big role in it, and our weight and our health. And because I know when I'm feeling down, I also don't feel good.
Yeah.
And those all just go hand in hand.
So what have you found that you do that's not necessarily eating that helps you like get out of those mental slumps or anything like that?
Swimming
Swimming.
walks. Yeah.
Okay.
Just being outside.
I call it hiking. I tell everyone I love to hike. I think an avid hiker would laugh at me. It's not flat, okay? When I'm hiking, it's just not flat.
Okay.
I'm walking through the hills. But stuff like that, getting out in nature. I used to think that was, you know, people just said that to say that, but it does help. It helps a lot.
Are you doing laps in the pool or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I travel, it's more snorkeling and free diving, but
Okay.
swimming is my biggest stress reliever.
Nice.
Yeah. I love to swim.
Now, people may know you because you're a bit famous on your Facebook group, the Keto Village. Can you talk about why you created that group, kind of what it's for, what you use it for?
When I started keto and I had found the Keto Chow and I was doing really well, immediately, like the first 3 months, I think I lost 40 pounds. It was ridiculous. It was just like, wow. I didn't have any help. I didn't have any groups. I didn't have any support. I had my husband, and I was like, I'm going to make a group. I'm going to tell everybody what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it for free. Because the people that I would find wanted to charge me an arm and a leg. Plus, Kaiser charged me a lot of money to start me out. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to do this in my spare time. And that's how that grew.
Yeah.
I just wanted a place that everybody could go and we could all help each other, and there was no hidden fees.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of downtime. I do a lot of work from home, and I know losing weight has a lot of psychological stuff behind it.
Yeah.
So I leave my messages open for everybody. People message me 24/7, and I'm there for anybody. I'm there for everyone. You can post in the group, or you can message me privately, and we all help each other.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
We've always loved that about you. Knowing what you've been through, what advice would you give to someone who's like starting keto?
Be patient. Be gentle with yourself. Just because you eat something that you weren't supposed to eat doesn't mean you failed.
Right.
You just pick up and you do better next time. You haven't failed. Support is number one. Find somebody you can talk to. I get probably 20 messages a day of people sending me pictures of menus at restaurants,
Right.
ingredients on the back of something, and asking if it's something that I would eat.
I know
And-
you've helped a lot of people with macros too.
Oh,
in the
yes. I
past.
love setting macros for people. It gets really complicated. People get frustrated with it. So
Yeah.
I have no problem setting those.
Just nice to know, like, okay, it's just somebody tell me what to do and I'll do it for a while.
Yes,
And
that's that. I get a lot of that.
then
Just
they
tell
can
me
just
how
let
to
it
do
go.
it.
Yeah.
I can't make menu plans for people because I feel like we all have different needs
And
So-
different likes.
and different likes. So I do not make menu plans. I will tell you what I ate. I will post a picture of every single thing I eat all day long. I do a post every day. What are we eating today?
Yep.
So people can just look like, oh, I could have that, or oh, that's what they're having. There's like a purpose behind that post. It's so that other people can get an idea of like what's okay to have and what's probably not a good idea to have. But, you know, in the end, you're your own person and you have to do what works for you. And I think that that's the biggest takeaway for anyone starting. It is your body, it is your journey, and you have to do what's right for you. I'll guide you, but you don't have to listen to me 100%.
Right. I mean, that's so important to
Yeah.
be individualized and just realize, you know, sometimes it takes people longer than other people. Don't compare yourself to someone else
That's number one.
because you're worth working for. And if it's slower, it doesn't matter.
A lot of my stuff was inflammation. That's why I lost so quickly. I had no idea that what I was eating was causing so many health issues. And the moment I cut it out, my body was like, whew, look at us. We can be a body now. We can function properly.
Yeah. And the pain was less.
Oh, so much less. I don't even know how often it is that I even take a Tylenol anymore. You know, I have to be hurt or something.
Yeah.
Or have a cold. That would be about it. I don't take any. I was on 22 medications back then.
Oh my
And then we
gosh.
got it down to 17. Now I'm on 2. And they're just, one's for heartburn. I can't kick heartburn. I don't know why. I've tried everything, even carnivore. I get acid reflux.
That actually makes me think of something. Today, somebody was asking on Reddit, and they were saying that they were having digestive issues and a little bit of diarrhea. And I said, hey, guess what? So one of our friends, Cristy Davis, noticed that adding beef gelatin to Keto Chow can help with that. Now, it obviously doesn't help with your acid reflux.
Doesn't help with my acid. I don't have acid reflux every single day.
Yeah.
But if I stop my protonics, comes right back, and then I have it all the time.
Okay. But can you tell us a little bit about, because the beef gelatin thing is really interesting, and I have no clue why it works.
Well, yeah, why do you
or
think it
how
works?
it works.
Yeah.
I have found a
But-
couple articles on it.
Okay.
It has to do with dairy and breaking down the enzymes in dairy that people have problems with.
Okay.
Makes it easier to digest. I don't know if it binds to it. I don't know what it does. That was everybody coming to me with Keto Chow. It upsets my digestive tract.
Okay.
And I was like Googling, and I came across this beef gelatin can aid in the digestion of dairy. And I'm like, wait, that actually might make the shake thicker a little
Yeah.
bit too, because butter thins it.
Yeah.
And I like I like feeling fuller from the shakes. And gelatin changed everything.
Yeah.
The texture's perfect. I'm full forever when I do it. I can turn it to pudding. I can make gummies. I can make licorice. I can, but yeah, I would say 80% of people that switched to it had relief.
So how do you do that, though? Because there are a lot of people you say, hey, just put gelatin in there, and they're like, but how?
Well, I like butter for my fat source, so I start with hot water.
Okay.
I add a teaspoon, not the scoop that comes with the gelatin, a teaspoon. I add that to the water and the butter, and I emulsify those together, emulsify.
So
and
they're going
then,
in a blender.
in the blender.
Okay.
And then I add the Keto Chow. And I don't
Okay.
let it go for too long because then it gets too many air bubbles and then it doesn't fit in my cup when I go to pour it.
Yeah.
But and then I stick them in the fridge. I make 3 to 6 at a time every time. I've learned that with the same flavor, I can fill a pitcher in the fridge
Nice.
and just pour from that. So that's really nice to do.
Nice.
Sometimes it's like a little top off before bed, just like little Keto Chow before bed.
Nice.
If I'm feeling snacky.
So you don't bloom it. You just
I don't
mix
bloom
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
That's what I've done too. I haven't
Yeah.
bloomed it, but I'm sure some people would like to do that.
I heard it gets a little chunky if you're just using the shaker.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
you would have to
Yeah.
bloom it
Yeah,
and
blooming
then
would help.
melt it, and then you could use the
Yeah.
shaker. But
I think my water's warm enough that it keeps the butter and the gelatin. They melt perfectly fine, I think.
Yeah.
and it turns this really cool, like milky yellow color. And once it looks like that, I add the Keto Chow.
Okay.
And then just pour them off into my cups.
Nice.
The other cool thing about collagen is your gut bacteria loves it more than fiber.
Yeah.
Even so.
I think that's another reason I don't have issues not eating. I eat a lot of gelatin. I mean, I put it in if I make soup, if I make roast, if I put it in everything.
Yeah. So, Cristy, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
Keep it simple. Be kind to yourself. Be patient. Do not compare yourself to others, and your journey is your own.
Okay.
Don't let someone get you down if they're like, you should not eat that. Don't let that get to you, because
That's not keto.
that's not keto.
Yeah.
Don't keto police people. Please. That's what I would like to say. Don't keto police people.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics that we might cover in the future, let us know. If you have any questions for Cristy, she might even pop in and answer them in the comments. But thanks for joining us, and you have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding.